Greetings and welcome to Maha MTB. I am Chandrasekhar Nene. I study international relations. Along with me is Harshad, who is the videographer. Today we are going to discuss an issue which is currently the talk of the town, and that issue is known as cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or Ethereum, there are various names for this. What it means actually is a digital currency, and this currency is being traded across the internet, across the world, and now all the governments are taking due notice of this new phenomena, and they are trying to see if they can either they can ban this currency, like China has banned this currency, Russia has partially banned this currency, then many other countries like Qatar has banned this currency, Turkey has banned this currency, Bangladesh has banned this currency, many countries have banned this currency, but many countries are taking advantage of the new currency and new technology and trying to regulate this currency. A country called El Salvador has actually tried to put their own cryptocurrency into the market also. UK and Canada also are thinking about the same. United States of America has not banned this currency, but they are watching it carefully. Now, what is this cryptocurrency? Let us go into the history of the cryptocurrency a little bit. Cryptocurrency was as a concept was started in the year 2009 by a Japanese person called Satoshi Nakamoto. What he did, he issued cryptocurrency, means there is no physical currency in place, but it was a concept and it was a piece of code, a software which he gave to people for trading, and he gave it as a prize to people to whom he posed some challenges in computers and mathematics. Those who solved the challenges got the currency. The currency's value was of course zero because it was a $0 currency. There was no value to the currency. This was the start of a new revolution in the currency market. The zero value currency which people had got then, the today's value of this currency in India is 4.2 million rupees. It's a very highly appreciated currency, and it can be traded. In the initial part, this currency was more of a game and it was being traded within people who were part of this group. But suppose you were having a million of this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin it was called at that time, you wouldn't be able to buy a cup of coffee using that million because there was no exchange between this currency and the real life currencies. But later on that also happened because when people started investing in cryptocurrency, they had to put in their own money. The money was in their banks. So conversely, it was also to be true that if you want to exit the cryptocurrency market, then you should be able to convert whatever cryptocurrency you have accumulated into real money, and the money would come into your bank. And that is how this exchange value of this currency is now relevant. Like if you had one Bitcoin and if you gave it back and you wanted it to be converted into actual rupees, you will get 42 lakh rupees, 42.5 lakh rupees minus some kind of brokerage for the broker who will be able to do this transaction for you. Looks very lucrative, isn't it? But what this whole thing is about, it started because of a technology which came into being. One technology was internet, which was very powerful by 2008-2009, but another technology was devised which is called blockchain or blockchain technology. A block here is a piece of data in which data is kept in the block. The block starts with 0 as the genesis block it is called, and whenever something is changed in the block's number changes. Now the change, suppose in case of Bitcoin or the currency, Bitcoin currency block, the block will consist the value of the currency, the name of the person who is holding this currency. And when it changes, when the ownership changes to from A to B, then it will say now B holds this currency and this is the value of the currency. But at the same time, for it to make it proof from the hackers who would otherwise put everything their own name in the block, it was devised, the blockchain technology was used. Blockchain technology actually uses another function on this data which is called hashing function. Hashing function using this data creates a unique value, and that value changes wherever there is a slight change in the data given. So if A has sold the currency to B, the new hash value will be attached to the block B. Now this new hash value has to match with any other hacker. If the hacker produces some changes, he cannot come back to the hash value because hash function will not give the same value again. This is the way they protected the validity of the data. This is the way they regulated the change in the data, and then bit currency started becoming more and more trustworthy. People were sure that if they bought 500 bitcoins, the block in their name will say 500 bitcoins with the name of the purchaser, and it will be immutable until the person himself or herself sells it to somebody else. And to keep the data secure, they also use something which is called a distributed network. That means the copy of the data was kept on multiple servers across the world. Using internet, that was possible. So any change a hacker does, he will have to make that change across all the servers, which was next to impossible. And also, to make it even more tougher, they introduced something called proof of work, which was a mathematical function which worked on this block every time there was a change, and it took about 10 minutes to run that program. So if a hacker was to change all the hundreds of places this value of this block, he will have to do it hundreds of places multiplied by 10 minutes for each, and it is next to impossible to change. What it means that the buyer is assured that he is buying is a true value of the coin. The coin's value is true. And the initial Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto, he introduced only 21 million bitcoins into the market. Those were all the number of coins. There is no more being introduced. So that's why, because the number of bitcoins is less, its value started rising. When its popularity rose, when people knew they could make some kind of trades using this, its popularity rose, its value rose, and that's why it has reached to this enormous value today. In just from 2009, in just 12 years, it has reached this value. There are certain advantages of Bitcoin, because only the name of the owner is there, and name is also a user ID. It is not name like Chandrasekhar Nene. It will be some user ID which I give, which means no government can trace the ownership of this currency to a person, which means this currency can be very easily used for all kind of anonymous transactions where you do not want names of the transacting party to be known. What are these transactions? Transactions for paying ransom, transactions for buying illegal arms, transactions for paying for drugs. So all kind of underground activities could be easily done by this Bitcoin like digital currency. Now this cryptocurrency is actually a tool in the hands of the underworld. So government had to get in. So government now all over the world are trying to regulate this market. Why regulate this market? So that this does not run amok and go and spend, becomes a parallel economy and challenges the government itself. Remember, there are not only Bitcoin, now there are 10,000 such currencies in the market. Some are big, some are small. Ethereum is a big currency, Litecoin is a big currency, Ripple is another currency. But the smaller currencies also exist, and they might be existing within a small group also. You never know that. And since its transfer to real currency is now possible, this has become a dangerous situation. That is why even Indian government is now proposing a bill in this parliament session to regulate this digital currency. Cryptocurrency and Digital Currency Regulation Bill 2001 is an overall name for this bill. What, according to the speech given by Shaktikant Das, our Governor of Reserve Bank of India is intending to allow only a few of these currencies, and also RBI is thinking of launching its own cryptocurrency, which will be in turn backed by the Government of India. The only thing lacking in cryptocurrency is there is no government backing to it. So if you are duped, if your money goes to zero, if suddenly Bitcoin value drops to zero, you can go to no court to claim your money. Your money is gone for good. And here is where I advise many of my young friends and other people. In India, there are 10 crore people who are involved in these digital currency transactions now. Because you can do it on an app on the mobile. There are many apps available on the mobile which will allow you to transact your really hard earned money into creating this Bitcoin like virtual currencies. Beware. Please do not do this right now, because there is no legal protection, there is no sanctity, there is no state backing for this currency. If you lose the value suddenly one day, everything is gone. And the difference between this and equity market is, in equity market at least there is a factory standing somewhere which is doing a business. The shares of that factory are an indication that the factory is doing good business and the profit of that business is being distributed dividend on the shares. Now in Bitcoin there is nothing, the price goes up and down depending on demand and supply, and as I told you many times, the demand is because of illegal activities requiring Bitcoin. So the price goes when the illegal activities proliferate, the price drops. When government regulations come in picture, like for when Indian government announced this change in bringing of this bill, suddenly the Bitcoin prices have dropped by more than 15% in India. And this is exactly why I made a warning to my friends, my young friends: do not invest. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, invest only to the tune of the money which you wouldn't mind if it was lost. It will increase, you never know. Some people came to me and said, hey, my money has increased to 1.5 times. I said, good luck to you. All such schemes, in the initial entrance, they always make money. But they make money when other entrant starts losing money, and these schemes are called Ponzi scheme, because some Ponzi was an investor in America who did this scam for Americans. So Ponzi scheme, every fresh entrant is actually paying for the earlier entrants. Ultimately, there are so many fresh entrants that all of them lose money, only the first entrants have made some money. So beware, don't get into this, and remember, this Bitcoin is only possible because of internet, because of blockchain, and because of companies which were willing to invest, willing to risk their capital in creating this virtual currency. But for all this, this is only virtual currency. There is more and more I will be making videos on this, because the bill is still not placed before the parliament. We do not know exactly what is contained into the bill. Once we know that, I will be coming with more information. If you like this information and if you want some more of this information, do subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your friends and relations, and also if you are not done till now, press the bell icon so that all our new videos are brought to you, the intimation is brought to you immediately. Thanks for watching.